Hi guys, welcome, good morning to day 3 of our advent calendar unboxing. Welcome, it's 9:30. We're on day 3, we're gonna paint something, and we're also gonna open number 3, like I said. Come on in on the chat, say hey, where are you from? Good morning to you in Puerto Rico, in Florida, from a very chilly Florida. Why is it chilly? You're in Florida. Here it's -4. It's freezing. Maple Ridge, BC, Canada. Welcome, welcome. So I hope you guys are enjoying these live so far. It's fun to connect with you guys. I love just talking to everybody. Just trying to not hit my mic. I love just chatting with everyone, painting, and then obviously doing the reveals in the boxes. Good morning from the basement. Hi, husband. Chilly, Florida also. What's the temperature? 34 degrees. I don't know what that is in... What is it? Fahrenheit. You guys go by Fahrenheit, right? 34 degrees. That does sound chilly, isn't it? Yesterday I thought it was 9:30 and it was 10. This morning I thought it was 10 and it's 9:30. I'm sorry. I know. It's different depending on the schedules of the kids. We had our youngest son home yesterday, so it was a little bit different, but he's back at daycare today, so I went a little bit earlier so I can get some things done after this. Hi to you in Nebraska, England, Cape Cod, Maine. Wow. Welcome, guys. South Carolina, North Carolina, I'm guessing. Yeah, so we are going to be unboxing day number 3, which I have poked out here because it's hard to get out and I didn't want you guys to see me struggle. And then we're going to be painting a candle for our little tutorial today. So if you got your advent calendar, you can unbox with me. I have a feeling a lot of people already did unbox it, which I don't blame you because I can't wait either. I probably would have opened it all by now. But if you're here to just see what we got inside, then you can do that too. These are still available for purchase on Craftmo's website, www.craftmo.com. It's in the description. Use the code EMMAFREESHIP for free shipping. All one word, capitals. I don't know if I put it in the description. I'm gonna write it here. Hold on. I'm gonna just write it. Emma free ship for free shipping. Oop. Oh my gosh, this is so hard to look. For free shipping. There we go. Okay, so just keep an eye on that if you guys are interested. Don't forget to like the stream, everyone. Thanks, Matt. Helps with the algorithm. It does. Give this video a like. Okay. I couldn't wait and I peeked at all of them too. I love it. I'm the same way. I'm horrible with surprises. Like horrible. Okay, so let's turn you guys around. Let's get opening because I know a lot of you guys are here for this. And then the painting. Flip you around. Full painting. So here we have our calendar and we are on day 3. Okay. Ready. Today, obviously, with this being a Craftmo calendar, we have our first brush, which is a size 8 round. Obviously, mine's been used. It's size 8 round, like a forest green handle, which I love, and the gold writing and the gold ferrule, and then a nice and snappy tip, like we make them, and nice and pointed. And it's honestly, it's been like my go-to brush size lately. It's so funny because I've been using my size 8 a lot lately, my one from my subscription box, which I left in water and I haven't been treating very nicely, and I keep using it in all my videos just because it's my favorite. And I've been wanting to use this one, but I haven't because it hadn't been revealed yet. So now I can finally switch over to this one. That's not looking as busted. But yeah, so we got this size 8 round brush and it's so much fun to use. I absolutely love it. Love the colors too. Wanted to make it nice and festive. Also for the people who may already have one of my size 8 round brushes, I didn't want to make it the same colors. So I wanted to make it a little bit more Christmassy for you guys. Okay, so that is our day 3. And I will show you the tutorial that comes with the box. We're not going to be doing the tutorial that comes with the box, just for clarification. So people were asking during these live if I'm doing the same tutorial that comes with the box. No, if you purchase the box, the tutorials you get inside with the links are completely different. They're only for those who bought the box. So don't worry, I'm not giving those away. And then also those tutorials also come with a tracing template if the tutorial requires one. So today we're just painting other things. I'm just painting little illustrations and stuff that are just fun because I want everyone to have fun, and not everybody, a lot of people have been asking if we can do the 24 days of Christmas that I did last year. Not going to do 24, but I'm going to do 12 during our 12 lives. So day 1, we got our sketchbook. And if you remember, the tutorials that came with day 1 from the box was this wreath. Day 2 was this really cute gnome, which I love, and it's super artsy and cute. And then day 3's tutorial is this winter landscape that you get with the box. It's nice and easy, super fun to do. But I just wanted to make it nice and simple for everyone. And I find putting anything in a shape works really, really well. So that was kind of my goal for this. But it's just easy. There's fun techniques that I teach in this one. But yeah, so for our day 1 tutorial for our lives, we did the Merry and Bright. So if you guys missed any of that, you can always go back and watch our live sessions from day 1 and day 2. This was day 1. And then day 2, we did this little red car, which was fun. And now day 3, we're going to do some candles, because candles can be kind of tricky to get that little glowing effect, but it's going to be similar to this. It depends if you want to do a background. I'm going to do it without a background, but show you how to kind of achieve that glowing look without doing a background. So it's not as tricky as like the dropping water and all that fun stuff. I do believe, do I have a tutorial where there's a background? I can't remember. Okay, so for this, you are going to need your paper. I'm going to be painting in the sketchbook. I'm probably also going to be using my little palette. I did hear that some of the clips that came with the palette weren't the same size as this, that they're smaller. If that's the case, it should be able to clip just to one page, which is what I do anyway. I never clip this whole thing to the whole book. That would probably indent it, and it's just, even this is too tight. So when I'm ever using my little palette, I only clip it. Why can't I do this? I only clip it to one page, and it doesn't indent it at all. It should be fine, even with the small one. I couldn't find the tutorials in the box. They're in the lids of the box. So if you open up each individual box, the links are printed in the lids. Okay? I can't show you, but they are printed on the inside here of each lid, okay? And that's the link for each tutorial of the box. I think in hindsight after, I thought, you know what, we should have probably like included a sheet. That might have been easier, but that I thought would be fun just so you don't go through all the tutorials at once. I don't know. We're living and we're learning here. Okay. So let me know if you have any more questions about that. Okay, so you need your paper, your paint. I'm going to try and use my little palette again. I'm just going to do this. My words are gone. Clean the mixing well, just so I have new mixing area. And I know it seems small, but you know what? It actually works fine. And I just have to like clean it every once in a while, and it's not too bad. Okay. And then you're gonna need a pencil. Let's do, I was gonna do one candle, but let's do like 3 candles. We'll do them different heights. So pencil and eraser. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna just do really lightly. I'm gonna move my face because you don't need to see my face for this. Full painting. There we go. I'm gonna do a rectangular shape here. Maybe we'll do one that's a little shorter. And then another one that's a little shorter. Okay. So candles are like cylinders, right? So I want you to think, and then the tops are already kind of burned or melted. So they're going to be kind of wavy at the top there. It's rounded, but it can be like higher on one side. So it looks like it's starting to melt like that. Okay, so just to have rounded edges like that, like it's starting to melt. And then you're also going to see the inside of that. So you're going to kind of want to kind of scoop down. Doesn't have to be perfectly rounded. It's going to be kind of wavy because it's melted, but you want to see the inside of that top like that. Okay, can you guys see? I'm trying not to do it too dark because I don't want it to be too dark under my watercolor. What colors did I put in my mini palette? I can't remember. It's in the tutorial videos on within the box. I actually show you how I fill it up and like little tips that I use to fill it. I can't remember. I think these were Paul Rubens ones. This is like a burnt sienna, like just generic names because I can't really remember exactly. Burnt sienna, indigo, I think like a lemon yellow. This is an olive green. This is some sort of magenta. I think it's like I wanted a cooler pink and then a warmer pink. So this is like a bright, deep red. And then like a magenta. And then this is more of like a turquoise color. And then this is more like a cobalt kind of color. I forget. They have different names, but I forget. That's kind of the gist of the colors. So I wanted like a cooler green, a warmer or cooler blue, cooler pink, warmer red, yellow, green, brown, and indigo. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So then you're also going to do little drips kind of coming down the candles. So you're just going to have little bits like this, and it's going to come kind of off the sides too. You don't have to do a ton. They can just be like a little bit. Doesn't even have to go all the way around. Like that. Like that. Okay, not a lot. I'm just going to erase some of these lines a little bit because they're a little dark. Okay. Like so. And then if you wanted to do some sort of, you know, holly leaves or something down here, you totally could. I wonder if I should do that. I might make space because I was going to do red candles, I think. Or I was thinking of doing white ones, but I don't know. Should I do red or white candles, guys? Let me know in the comments. My favorite box design are the mittens and the cocoa cup. I would love to see those tutorials too. I am planning on doing that too. Not the mittens, but maybe I'll do the mittens. Or did I put the mittens? I might. Maybe we'll add those too. Red or white candles? What do you guys think? I love your box. Unfortunately, I've used the code on the boxes, but no tutorial has popped up. Are you sure? Janice, if you can email me at or Craftimo. I'm going to get you to email me just so I can make sure that you get those tutorials because that is definitely a huge part of it. Hotmail. Janice, email me if you need to. Okay, let's do white candles. I think it might even be easier. Or we could do... I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Janice, email me and I'll see what we can do, okay? Because I want to make sure you get those tutorials because that's a huge part of it. Okay. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time deciding what color candles. Let's do white because then we can paint some greenery on top after, because if we do red, we'd have to paint around it, and I just don't want to do that right now. Okay, so if we're painting any kind of white object, they have to have some sort of undertone, right? And some sort of undertone to it. Now, if you want to actually just draw the wick, we're going to do the flame after. We'll start with the actual candle. So I'm going to do an undertone of a white color. So what I like to do is mix, and this is why I put these two colors in here, mix my burnt sienna and my indigo together to make a gray. Now, if it's a little bit more burnt sienna, it's going to be a warmer gray, like on the brown side. If it's you have a bit more indigo, it's going to be a bit on the cooler side. So because they're kind of right by candles, I actually want it to be a tad bit warmer, so a little bit more of a brown undertone. So I'm going to just start with, like, see how little paint I have there? really light wash. Actually, I should probably erase a bit of this first, just so it doesn't show, because we are doing white candles. I'm just going to make it a little bit lighter. It doesn't have to be completely light. And I'm going to go around on the whole thing with this really light wash. I know it seems almost a little bit dark, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water and just kind of drag out that color like so. I don't want it dark. And then because the candle will be glowing, and it will cast a bit of light on the candlestick, I'm just going to bring it all the way down. I'm going to take just a little bit of yellow. Just a little bit of yellow. Maybe a little bit of red too, just to make it a bit more orangey. And I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of orangey yellow just in there. Maybe even a little bit more brown. The tiniest bit, okay? Because you want it to be like there's a bit of a highlight from the candle. And then I actually want this down here to be a bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit more color. The further away it is from the flame, the darker it's going to be. So I'm going to just darken this up a little bit down here. Just a bit, not a whole bunch. And I'm going to use white paint to get some highlights on there after. You could, if you want, like leave some white space for highlights, but I think it'll just be easier to add the white highlights after. So if you have a white gel pen or a white paint marker, that works perfectly fine. Okay, so that's our first candle. 2 reds, 1 white. Because I want to kind of do holly and stuff and berries on it after. And if we do the red, you can't paint over it. I'd have to like stencil it out now, which I don't really want to. I think I'm going to do white. I think I'm just going to stick with white. I'm so indecisive. And I know it looks like a gray candle. It looks kind of gross, but it will look better, I promise. Okay, let's do the next one. Really light wash, covering the whole thing. If you want to do red, I would do a light wash of red. Okay, and then just make it darker towards the bottom, like where I'm putting the darker bit on these ones. So a little bit more color down here. Okay, the further away it gets from the flame, the darker it's going to be. And then a little bit more of that light orangey yellow color. A little bit more yellow. Just for a bit of glow on the top there. Even over on this one too, because that glow would be hitting the sides of the candlestick, right? The clip definitely does clip to one page when using the thinner edge of the palette. Okay, good. I was trying to clip from the thicker edge with several pages in the cover. Okay, good. I'm glad that it works with the one page. Okay, and then let's do the next one. I just got to mix a bit more paint. Really, really light. Remember, it always pays off to go lighter to start than darker, because you can always make something darker. It's a lot harder to make something lighter. I'm gonna grab a bit more color. Just a bit. Make it darker towards the bottom here. Okay, then grab that yellowy brown color. A little bit of orange. Meh. Keep adding too much. Okay. And I'm adding this while it's still wet. I'm going to add a little bit of the yellow, kind of hitting the side of this one too. Okay. All right. And then you're going to let those dry, because we're going to do a bit of shading on the candlestick again too. How do you achieve the glowing effect around the flame? Okay, so this is where it's not tricky, but what you're going to do is you're going to, with clean water, do not a lot, but enough. You're going to do a circle, kind of going pretty far out, like that with water. So I don't know if you can see where I put the water. See the glare there? And now you're going to take your yellow little bit of red, and you're going to paint your flame like that. And so it kind of is going to move into that water and glow. Okay, we can add a little bit more yellow. So it's not like a defined line. It's going to move into that water. A little bit more red. Okay, and it's just gonna slowly move out. If you want to help it out too, like you don't want to put so much paint where it's gonna spread to the edge of the circle. We just make the circle big enough that it has room to move, but not right to the edge. Okay, and you're just gonna kind of soften it as it comes out. Like so. And the trick is to not use a lot of water or paint. Okay, we'll go back and add a little bit more definition after, but that's kind of how you do the glowing effect. So again, just clean water, putting in a decent circle, gives it enough room to move. And the way to not get it to explode everywhere is using just a little bit of paint. Okay, I'll show you what happens when you use too much paint. Like if I grab this in too much water, it's going to go a lot further out, which you might not want, okay? I actually didn't really do it with this one, but depending on your paper and your paint. Okay, we're just going to kind of move it in a flame. Shape and just slowly move it out. I really don't have a lot of water or paint on my brush as I'm moving it out, okay? A little bit more yellow. Like that. See that? Okay, and then the last one, just water. Make sure there's no puddles or pools of water. That makes a huge difference. If you tilt it to one side and it starts to all like drip to one side and it's pooling, you don't want that, okay? Just mop it up a little bit with your brush or a paper towel. Too much red. These paints are so pigmented that they just like release so much color, even if you just touch it a little bit. I'm just doing this flame and then just moving it out just a little bit with the tiniest bit. Okay, and we're going to define it after. How do you think of any composition while choosing any subject? It depends. I find like something like this is a little bit easier because it's like just an object, right? You could do candles and they'll look pretty decent. I think one major thing is to start with anything, choose an odd number. So I chose 3 candles. If I chose 4, it might look a little odd. 3, like odd numbers, asymmetry looks a little bit better. It's a bit more pleasing to the viewer's eye. So just keep that in mind. But like something with, what's it called? Like a floral composition. There's a couple more tricks to it. I actually have videos on that, but it can be a little bit tricky. What if I put a little bit of like flames up here? Just like they're flickering a bit. Maybe not. Okay, so we're going to let those dry now. And then while those are drying, we're going to go back and make them a bit more intense. Some colors don't spread as far as others. It helps to test them for sure. Yes. Yeah, some colors, like I know some of my purples like will explode or my black will explode, but then like my blue doesn't move as much, but then my Prussian blue moves a lot. So it's always good to get to know your colors and test them beforehand. All right. So now we're going to add a little bit more shading on the candles. So underneath those drips that we did, we're going to add some darker color, like some shadows like that. I'm just taking a little bit of the color that we had. Then I'm going to wash off my brush and just kind of blend out those edges. See that? How it just kind of makes it pop out and make it a little bit more brown. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of darkness in here. like that. And then we can just make it a little bit darker down here too. I'm just kind of, again, such little amounts of paint on my brush. Just kind of flicking it up to give it a little bit of a darker textured looks. And then this is looking a little bit flat here, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of shadow lines just so it doesn't look so flat. There's like a little bit of bumpiness to it. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Gonna get a little bit more of my color. Gotta mix it up. Okay, and again, underneath the drips, we're adding that color, the dark color, like so. Wash off your brush, dry it a bit on your paper towel, blend out that edge so you get a nice soft edge, like that. Same with this one over here, just adding some of the darker color. Again, it's really not dark. I'm taking the tiniest amount of paint, wash off my brush, dry it, blend it out. So when I wash off my brush and I dry it on my paper towel, it takes off some of that excess paint and water, so you can have clean water and a clean brush to blend it out so you don't get any lines. So if you are getting some weird lines, that might mean that you didn't wash off your brush enough and take off the pigment. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more darker color in here. Kind of right where the wick kind of sits in the candle. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Like that. Take a little bit more color and just make it a tad bit darker towards the bottom. And it's just giving the candle a little bit of texture too. And then again, just a little bit of texture on these drips just so they don't look so flat. See how that's kind of coming to life now? And they look like white candles even though like I'm using like brownish grayish paint. Okay, let's do the drips on this side. Just adding shadow, wash, dry, blend. This one doesn't need a lot. Just adding a little bit more shadow in there. And then down here. Okay. Might add a little bit of yellow to some of these edges just so it looks like it's glowing a bit, like the tiniest bit, like so. And then we can focus on our candles again because these are dry. Make sure they're dry first. Gonna get a little bit more yellow, and I'm just gonna intensify the shape of that flame a bit more. See that? So I'm not even doing the full flame. I'm kind of leaving the inside lighter. A little bit more orange. Like that. So you have that glow around it. But now we're just drawing the flame. Okay, leaving the inside a little bit lighter. Like that. You can see how you should see the glow around. Maybe a little bit closer to the bottom of the wick. And it can be a bit more like loose. It doesn't have to be super, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of smooth lines. It can be a little bit like fiery, like it's flickering a bit. If you want to add a little bit more glow too, you can always just take a tiny bit. Oops. Tiny bit. Just add a little bit more. Yeah, don't forget it glows down at the bottom too. On the candle. Oops, why is my green? My brush wasn't clean. Okay. Now, while we're waiting for that to dry, we can do like some berries and some pine. So because we did like a white candle, we can go right over top of this and it won't make a huge difference. I'm gonna grab some red and I'm just gonna do a circle. Leave a bit of a highlight. Another circle. And then another circle. Like so. Like that. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of indigo. Mix it with my red just to make a darker red. And I'm going to tap one side to make it a little bit darker. Like that. And then you're going to want to let that dry. Okay. Then I'm going to do, is this dry? This is already dry. It dries pretty fast. I'm going to grab a little bit of my indigo and I'm just going to do the wick. Like that. Just really lightly. I'm going to wash that off a bit. And I'm just going to kind of blend this part out just a little. Doesn't have to be so dark. And then blend kind of at the bottom as well. Like so. And like that. Okay, and then we need to wait for these berries to dry before we do any greenery. So I'm just going to take my dryer quickly. And just dry that. And then I'm going to take some green, mix it with my indigo here. And I think I'm just going to do some pine, like some pine needles. So I'm just going to do a really thin line, really light pressure with the tip of my brush. And I'm just flicking out like that. Like, look at these little lines you get with this brush, even though it's a size 8. Pretty great. Okay, so I'm doing a lighter one to start. Have part of it come down here. Like it's off the page. Maybe there's another one kind of coming down here just because I want to fill up this bottom. And over here. Like that. Then I'm going to grab a little bit more green, a little bit more indigo to make it darker. And I'll just kind of go over top just to make some darker and fuller. Okay, so it's not all flat in one color. Like that. Looks awesome, thank you. Thanks, Sketches. Like that. And like that, okay. Then, I'm just gonna get a little bit more of my darker red and I'm just gonna kind of just make it a little bit more shadowy. Just adding in more shadows around that side. Now that it's dry, it can be a bit more of a defined shadow. Like that. And then last but not least, I'm gonna get If you have like a white pen, people were asking about this before. This is a Uniball Signo gel pen. This is the best white gel pen I've ever found. I typically use my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof whites for any kind of white detail, but this also works if you want to grab yourself, and they're very inexpensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some white to the edge of the candle here. Maybe a little bit of highlight on some of these drips. Very, very minimal. My pen is also kind of giving out on me. It's been it's been around for a very long time. And then I'm going to also just add some white right to the center. You can even kind of blend it out with your finger a bit, because the flame is always the whitest or the lightest right towards the center. So see how that kind of makes it a little bit brighter? I'm just kind of smudge it with my hand. Again, if you have your white paint, you can do that. White gouache works, white watercolor sometimes if it's opaque enough. And then if you wanted to add the white highlight there, you could. Like that. And you can always deepen any words out of my mouth, any shadows that you want to, if you want to make it a bit more intense too. You know, you can always make it a little bit darker. Wash off your brush, dry it, blend it out. Totally however you want to do it, okay? There's no limit to what you want to do to make it stand out a bit more. Okay, just have fun and experiment. That's my biggest thing, is experiment and try things, because you never know what's going to work and what's not going to work unless you try. I've learned so many things from trying and failing rather than just not trying at all. So if you're worried that you're going to mess it up, mess it up. Just mess it up. Okay, see, sometimes it makes it more intense. Add a little bit more shadow. And if you ever really mess up, you can always try and, like, if it's still wet, you can just dab it with your paper towel and try and lift it. But yeah. Can't wait to paint with you in France. Oh, you're coming. Yay. Hi, Jessica. I'm so excited. Okay, so that's our painting for today, our candles. I feel like the candles look a little bit more realistic than the pine. Like, I feel like those should be a little bit more defined and stuff, but that's okay. Not everything has to be a perfect masterpiece, right? I don't know. Holly would have been really cute too. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? This is so nice and cool. First time in the channel. Thanks for being here, Rachel. What colors do you recommend for painting shadows? So it depends on what kind of vibe you want to achieve. If you want it to be like a cooler shadow, I would say like an indigo. Well, so here I used indigo and burnt sienna to create a gray. So half and half creates gray. If you use a bit more indigo, it makes like a cooler shadow. If you use a bit more burnt sienna, it makes a warmer shadow. So because like this candle right here is right in the center, I used a bit more brown of the burnt sienna, so it's a bit of a warmer shadow. This one is a bit of a cooler shadow because it's on the outside. There's not as much of the flame kind of reflecting on that one, if that makes sense. But yeah, so there we go. There is today's tutorial. That was more, not intense, but more detailed than I thought I was going to do. I was going to do like one candle. But let me know what you guys think about the glow. I feel like it worked, but I feel like it could go out even further. I don't know. I feel like next time I might try and like drive it around there further so it like really glows. I don't know. Candles aren't something I paint very often, but I think it turned out really nicely. Do I want a bit more of a glow? I mean, I think it looks like it's glowing. Looks cool. I'm a beginner in painting. I find it really tough to get the colors and tone and shading I want. That just comes with practice and trial and error. Honestly, everything with painting, like I feel like everything with painting comes from just playing and messing up and seeing what works. Just take note of what works and what doesn't. I did spend a lot of time mixing colors together. Which I love doing. And it just gives you more familiarity with your colors and shadows and tones. I also have tons and tons of tutorials where I go through all of that stuff. So it's just takes time, but you're totally going to get it. You just got to keep going. Hold on. I feel like I missed a bunch. Sorry. How do you in Australia? I think I'm going to try these candles. So cute and effective. Good. My 3 best friends and I will be coming from California. Jessica. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I love that. I was hoping people could, like come with some friends. My mom's coming on the France trip. She's the one in the comments saying, hi, Rachel. I'm still learning too. That's my mother. And then my best friend is also coming. She is coming as my assistant. She is an influencer. And she has her own business and all that stuff, and she does some videography and photography and stuff like that. So she's coming to help with the retreat, but also like take photos and behind the scenes stuff. So I'm so excited. My best friend's going to be there as well. It's going to be so much fun. And it's perfect for beginners. Like my mom will tell you, she's still learning. She's following for the first time now too. So my granddaughter is Emma Jane also. Aw. Love watching you. I was named after my great-grandmother, mom, Nana, my mom's grandma, and on my dad's side too. My grandfather's, I don't know. My grandfather's someone. My grandfather's mom is Emma Jane as well. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you're enjoying our lives. That was fun. I like the candles. I like the white. You could definitely do red. But yeah, that's fun. And I'm still liking this one too. That was fun. Tomorrow, I forget what we're doing tomorrow. Something. We're doing another illustration, obviously. And if I had a daughter, her middle name was going to be Jane too, but I didn't. I had 2 boys. So his middle name is James, after my grandfather and his uncle. Okay, focus. What is tomorrow? So tomorrow is Wednesday. Our live tomorrow is going to be at, it's in my book here. That sounds awesome. All the best friends. Honestly, I'm so excited that people are coming with like their friends. That's going to be great. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So 2 p.m. And I think 2 p.m. tomorrow is going to be our live. Because I have meetings and stuff in the morning. So we're going to be going live 2 p.m. I also have the gym, so I don't. Oh yeah, your grandma. Oh, your grandma was Emma? Yeah, it was. Duh. Anyway. Sorry. But yeah, so tomorrow at 2 p.m. we're going to be going live and we're going to be painting some mistletoe. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know in the comments. Also, if you're still interested in getting a box and you haven't yet, I mean, it's a perfect Christmas gift for yourself. You can open it on Christmas. It doesn't have to be like Advent. You open one thing at a time. You can do it in the new year. That could be a New Year's resolution to paint for the first 12 days of of the 2025. Oh my God, 2025. So yeah. And I will say, I know there are, especially in Canada, we have a postage strike with Canada Post. So if you are in Canada, that may affect it. I know my mom's box has not come yet either. Sorry, Mom, but it will come eventually. It's the same timing. I live in Asia. So it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Beautiful. I did the 24 days last year and loved every day. Oh, I'm so glad. Maybe I'll do that again next year. If you guys are looking for an online advent calendar to do like a painting every day, Harriet de Winton, who is an incredible artist and an incredible YouTube creator, she does 24 days, like an advent calendar every day. Little illustrations. They're amazing. So look up Harriet de Winton or De Winton Paper Co. She's been doing it for the past 3 years. It's beautiful. And she has like a little print off calendar and everything. So if you're interested in doing 24 days this year, and I haven't, you can definitely go and check her out, or you can just paint along with these for the first 12 days at least. And then I'm taking some time off, even though there's going to be videos coming out, but I'm taking some time off. Let me see. Will the tutorials from the Advent be live year round? Yes, they should always be available. And if not, I will talk to Craftimo and see if there's a way we can preserve those and the ones from the subscription boxes. I believe those are still up too, but a way that we can access them for people who have purchased the boxes, because I don't want you guys to ever lose those. So that's our live for today. I have some filming to do for videos after our 12 days. Some fun stuff coming out. I'm going to be filming a quick last minute 5-minute cards for the holidays, because if you're anything like me and you're a last minute person, I'm going to give you some good ideas. But until then, tomorrow at 2 p.m., I will see you guys then, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and you enjoyed today's unboxing and tutorial. I'll see you guys soon.